Max Verstappen pole, round 16, the Italian Grand Prix. We should have known, shouldn't we, of this stage after Saudi Arabia and the British Grand Prix and Suzuka. This dude is ridiculous. Genius is an understatement. In fact, it's imprecise language. It's not that Max Verstappen can do it, can be quick, but it's at the clutch moments each and every single bloody time at this stage. And I don't know how he does it. I didn't think he was going to do it. You understand the mantra of the channel. No, it's modus operandi that we never bet against Maximilian Verstappen. But on this occasion, around the Italian Grand Prix, that papaya-coloured car looked too quick. I thought Lando Norris was going to do it. He said that he had 40% chance if you run qualifying 100 times. I was convinced Lando was going to bang it, that no longer he was going to be a bottle job, that he was going to for once deliver on his not insubstantial potential. And then you see the mistakes start to leak in Q2. He put in a brilliant lap, but not as brilliant as a Max Verstappen lap. He had more downforce. His speed through the speed trap, Lando Norris's 3.45, Maximilian Verstappen's 3.48. So he's doing the same things as Lando in a goated papaya-coloured MCL39 with less downforce. This makes no sense. This is a different track to Silverstone, isn't it? This is Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2. This is Ascari. This is chicane 1 and 2. This demands a very different type of car. Yet, of course, Red Bull have brought some upgrades, floor fairings, etc., etc. New front wings, both front and rear. But nevertheless, Maximilian Verstappen needs to be the difference. Now, for all the people that want to talk about Max glazing, is it glazing really when the dude goes out there and is the difference on so many different occasions, a multitudinous times now? Surely you've got to put some respect on his name. Now, Nico Rosberg at the end of the broadcast said Max Verstappen is absolutely one of the 5 best drivers ever to get behind the wheel of an F1 car ever. I would argue top 3, chap. Doing it too frequently now. And again, this is important that I be precise with my language. It isn't just that Max Verstappen is quick. No, there's been a gazillion drivers like that come and go throughout F1 history. It's his ability to bring the best out of himself at the times when he needs it most. This is chaos, chat. I feel like we're living in an era of Maximilian Verstappen now, 4-time champion. And for that, as F1 fans, as a community, we need all be grateful. Why are we comparing Max Verstappen with any other driver on the grid? Even Leclerc. Verstappen is God tier. No one else on the grid is close. I concur, sir, and that's why he's able to do that again. A 118.792. Let me tell you the extent, because it's a difference in extents now and not kinds when we look at the rest. That's the fastest ever lap around Monza in F1 history. The fastest. The previous one was Sir Lewis Hamilton on a 118. Now Max Verstappen is being the difference, not just on track in real time, but from a statistical standpoint. Now, going into his career going forward, of course, he's got to make the right bloody decision. He needs to end up at a Mercedes, pervade the circumstance and the competitive landscape in 2026, so that he makes the right decision in 2027. But if you're talking about the best driver, I'm not sure, chat, and you can take this to the bank, that I've ever seen a better one than him in history. Sir Lewis Hamilton included in that. Lewis was a demon, a force of nature in 2007, but even he could make a cheeky mistake of the unforced variety. He was human. This Maximilian Verstappen fella is an absolute alien. It makes no sense, and I can't understand it. Anytime you can throw a blanket over the field and it's a second between first and 20th, then you know the difference is going to be the driver. And those are the circumstances, like we've just seen today at the Italian Grand Prix, where Maximilian Verstappen just keeps making the difference. Fans told us many cycles ago that the thing about Maximilian Verstappen is this: there's 0.2 to 0.3 between him on average and the other 19 on the grid. You've heard Mark Hughes talk about his gift is in his ability to balance the car, manage it in and around the limits of adhesion. That's why you can cycle the car through the combined entry. That's why you can drive around the car. And you want to talk about Tsunoda, and he said, you know what, give me the same car as Maximilian Verstappen and I'll be able to do the same. Wrong, sir. You're a gazillion miles down the track, barely managed to get into kit. You're nowhere near Maximilian Verstappen, and you have now the same car and all of the same upgrades. How very dare you try and insert your name into a sentence that contains the four-time champions Maximilian Verstappen. Oh, and by the way, now it's very apropos to address all of the Max Verstappen naysayers. They said that he had a quick car. Some said that they wanted to see him do it in a car that's not the quickest on the grid. Well, what are you saying now then? Are you going to tell me that that RB21 is quicker than the MCL39 of Lando and Oscar Piastri around Monza? Behave yourself. No chance. You saw the evidence of FP1, 2 and 3. They looked like they were in a different galaxy. But again, first-hand evidence, Max is the difference maker. The bridge between the RB21 with all of its multitudinal aerodynamic and mechanical travails and the race lead in the McLaren MCL39 in the hands of Lando Norris. Yet again, I reiterate this, but I make no apologies for making this point. Difference between the good ones and the great ones isn't their speed at any given time. It's not about resilience or determination, their ability to anticipate what's going on track, their racecraft. No, it's the ability to bring out of themselves the best, the go-tiest of their abilities in the clutch moments when they need it most. And what else has Maximilian Verstappen been doing as near as makes no difference all bloody season? This dude is a chaos dragon, the likes of which I'm not sure that I've ever seen in my 40-year history of watching Formula One. He's a difference maker. He is built difference. Now you can look up and down the grid as well. This isn't a bad field, chat. If you do the F1 maths, you look up and down and you see Charles Leclerc, you see Lando and Oscar Piastri, neither one of whom are bad peddlers. Great, potentially not yet, but will Oscar be at some point? Potentially. Lewis Hamilton is still on the grid. Charles Leclerc too. Are their cars fantastic? No, but yeah, and still when you're comparing and contrasting, when you rub Maximilian Verstappen up against other greats, how did he compare? This dude isn't a bad driver, chat. He's a genius. I do not understand how he's able to do this. I do not understand from where they got this dude. Metronomic is an understatement. Inevitable is probably precise if we're dealing with precise language. I say again for the avoidance of doubt. This is chaos. Absolute chaos. And the Max Verstappen naysayers need to run for the hills lest they wish to be deemed abbots of unreason. There is only so long you can do one of these and avert your gaze from the light of truth. For this Maximilian Verstappen fella isn't a bad peddler. Mount Rushmore of F1, first round Hall of Fame. Abso-flipping-lutely. Thou shalt put some respect on his name. Whether you like or loathe the dude, it matters not. If you are an F1 fan and you appreciate sporting endeavour par excellence, then you need to appreciate that this is the Maximilian Verstappen era and you shall put some respect on his name.